wanted to show y'all something really quick. We use the 36-inch mower to get into these really tight areas. But if you see something like this, this is a disaster waiting to happen. And here's why. So the 36 will absolutely fit through here, of course. But what happens is, you see this yard right here is low. It slants down. This one does the same thing. Okay, this house right here does not have gutters, meaning that water's going to run off here and it's going to settle. Same thing here. Even this one has gutters. It's not piped to the road. All the water is just going to settle right in here. And there's not enough of a grade to get the water out of here. And this area right here is going to get soggy. And here's what will happen. You'll come in between this with your mowers, and eventually one day it's going to be wet. You're going to get stuck. And whenever you get stuck, you're going to start trying to wiggle the mower out and jerking it, doing all the things, and then you're going to smash into one of these air conditioner units. You're going to have a major repair on your hands, like thousands and thousands of dollars. So I would advise you that it is very prudent to put eyes on properties. And if you see homes that are close together like this, yes, even though these are types of homes we like, you have to watch out for this stuff. Your mower will fit, but this is a wet area that you'll run into problem eventually. And the thing is, with enough experience, you start to see that type of stuff and it just becomes intuitive, but it's not for your employees. So those are the types of conversations that you need to have, because our job as owners is to reduce liability, right? Y'all want me to show you my most embarrassing yard? Look at this. Y'all, I have had this lawn for 7 years. And for 7 years, I've asked this lady to let me take care of this. Look at this. This is her flower bed. I mean, there's no flower bed. It's weeds that are chest high. But yeah, we pull up to this yard once every 2 weeks. We mow the grass. I take the paper up to the door. Occasionally pull a trash can back up to its spot. But I gotta look at this. And my truck has to sit in front of this house. Yeah. What are you gonna do? I mean, and dude, I have given her like the budget price for this. But this is horrible. Absolutely horrible. All right, guys, I'm kind of playing leapfrog with the crew today. Kind of skipping ahead of them. If you're running a 3-man crew, 3 is great. It keeps everybody fresh throughout the day. But the problem I found with 3-man crew is no matter what, there's always a little bit of inefficiency and a bottleneck in there. And typically it is the mower, meaning that the 2 guys edging, weed eating, blowing, and that type of thing, they're going to finish before the guy can finish mowing. And there's some ways around that we'll discuss in their video. But one of the things I found that really, really speeds everything up is if you have another rig, is if you are still tagging along in the same neighborhood as the crew, but you're kind of just playing leapfrog and going to the next house, so there's no inefficiency. That way everybody is always moving, always working. What you don't want is people standing at the truck waiting for somebody to finish, because then if you got 2 guys standing around, that's no good. So I'm rolling with just a condensed version of what the crew has, which is a 36 and a 52. Got the edger and then the weed eater. Look, I'm not even putting these things in the racks, and we're just riding around from house to house in here. So yeah, but again, I'll do a full rig rundown with what the crew is using and kind of show you how that setup works really well for us. So if you're mowing residential properties, you got a little bit of mix of small and big. I'll talk about this in Turf Prairies Academy, but the 36 and 52 is, you can't beat it. I mean, you cannot beat a 36 and 52 stander. The blades are interchangeable. The 36 gets in the backyard. Like, it's just, there's so many reasons to have a 36 and a 52. there's no yard that we cannot tackle with that setup. So again, I'm fixing to join back up with the crew. They're just around the corner on the other street. I'm gonna check and put eyes on that yard, see if there's anything that I need to touch base with the client about. Be very proactive in our estimates at the beginning of the season. People are wanting stuff done. They're wanting hedges trimmed. They're wanting flower beds weeded. They're wanting pine straw done and mulch and all those things. You got to strike while the iron is hot and be proactive. Dude, what do y'all do in this situation? I'm gonna tell you what I do. When, you know, oak leaves have been dropping all year long and I've reached out to people for like leaf cleanups, and you get here on the first service date and there's gonna be a massive leaf cleanup. Most of the time we just do a regular lawn service. I'm not even concerned with managing the leaves. If they're okay with it, then we're okay with it. But I can tell you what I'm going to be doing moving forward for next year, and it is not coming here and just doing a leaf cleanup. I'm going to be changing things up a bit. So next year, we are coming to people's properties once a month, period. If you do not want us to come, you have to opt out of that service. You have to write and tell us, hey, we do not want you to come, but I'm going to have a disclaimer in there that says if your yard is in this condition with a pile of leaves, or if there's a big cleanup, you're probably going to be charged the equivalent of if we had just come once a month during the winter. All right, it was going to say something like that, or I might say something like, please know there are very few of my clients who would not benefit from having us come for a year-round service. Please know that if you opt out of this service, you may be charged a cleanup fee in the spring equivalent to if we had to just come once a month. Anyways, I'm working through that verbiage right now. That's going to provide us a boost of winter income, as well as keep us from coming here and dealing with a dust pile. Right now, we're just working our way through all of these spring cleanups, and the yard's just taking a lot longer, but kind of what you do whenever you're not going to the property year round. All right, this is another example of why I like to kind of put eyes on the property, especially at the beginning of the year. I've already piled up all these limbs and debris here, but this is another opportunity. We're going to be in here later this week with our dump trailer. I'm going to send this guy a text and say, hey, we can take this limb off your hand for an extra 75 bucks, get it all loaded up and chopped down, and he's going to jump on it for sure. Actually, this tree needs to come down. Looks like a dagger about to stab me in the head. But that's another reason that I like to come to these properties myself. So I'm currently putting out 5 rounds, and I just put out 4 of them, but I'm fixing to put out a 5th. I did not put it out at the yard that I was supposed to because there is another lawn care service provider that is taking care of that lawn. And right now I'm doing market piercing pricing. So what that is I'm going to bring my price down a little bit on these postcards to get my foot in the door, okay? Not so low that it's not profitable, but I'm not gonna be at the top end. I'm just trying to get my foot in the door with these clients. So again, this one right over here is currently being taken care of by another lawn care service provider. He looks like a solo guy, and I'm gonna leave that lawn alone. I don't even know if he watches my channel, but I'm not gonna go in there and put my postcard there. But I am gonna put it on this other one over here. But again, that is a good strategy. I told y'all about this. The postcard, there you go. There you go. That's available in Turf Pros Academy. If you want to download that, it is plug and play. I've done a full video on why that thing works so good. Here's a link for that video on why that postcard works so good. But what I'm doing is I'm actually writing the price on this particular postcard, making it super, super easy for folks to get in contact with us. So again, this would normally be like a $49 lawn, but we're gonna call it 40, and we're gonna just get our foot in the door. And again, this is what I've done with all the postcards that I've put out in here so far. So that's called market piercing strategy, okay? You don't have to be at the top end, you just gotta get them on your roster, okay? And then you can bring the price up over time. All right, just got that one put out. But Jonathan, I thought you guys were full. I thought y'all were raising prices this year. We did. I raised prices. But that does not mean that I stopped marketing. And here's why. Every single year, there is a certain amount of attrition. So attrition is churn rate. It is client turnover, okay? So let's suppose you raise your prices up and you lost some clients. Well, that's one way, but attrition is really more about clients who leave you through no fault of your own. Okay, it happens every single year, and honestly, the bigger you get, the bigger that attrition rate ends up being.
So for example, a client could move, they sell their house, okay? Well, you don't get to do that lawn anymore, most likely, right? Maybe somebody passed away, heaven forbid, you know? For whatever reason, there is a certain amount of your clientele, percentage based, that just ends up canceling with you to resume services the next year. I have found that number to be close to 5% every single year. I've heard other people say it's 5 to 10%, but if you have 200 customers and 20 of them are leaving, there's probably something else going on there. I think for us, the number is a lot closer to 5%, meaning that we will lose close to 10 customers every single year, and I have to constantly work to refill our schedule. So yes, even though we are at capacity right now, I have said it is always important to be bringing in new customers. It gives you an opportunity to flush out the bad ones, and hey, if you're already in these neighborhoods, why not go ahead and put out your marketing material and keep working in the neighborhoods you're already in, doubling down on route density. I'm out also doing estimates for pine straw jobs, mulch installations, and here's a text that I send out to folks. It kind of moves the needle forward. It creates a little bit of urgency. Anyways, here it is. So what I'm saying here is, look, we're already going to be in your neighborhood. If you go ahead and move forward and say, yes, let's go ahead and get this done, then I'm going to be able to give you a discounted price. That kind of just pushes people to just, hey, I need to go ahead and schedule this and get it taken care of. So this does a couple things. Number one, it makes you look good. Like, okay, you're recognizing that something needs to be done on the property. You're being proactive and reaching out and let them know, hey, this is the estimate. I see it needs to be done, and we're here. We're ready to do it. We can get it taken care of for you this week. All you got to do is just tell us yes. Secondly, it drastically increases your efficiency whenever you are able to just buy a whole bunch of pine straw at once or a whole bunch of mulch at once and just do all the jobs at the same time. It just speeds everything up. You can get your trailers and your equipment set up exactly like you need to go do a full day of mulch or pine straw installations.